You know that moment when you open your drawing app, stare at the black canvas, make one line, hit it, delete it, and suddenly Pinterest becomes your full-time job? Yeah, me too. Hi, welcome back. I'm Runa, and I'm either struggling with procrastination or with art block, and today we're covering the latter. Art block is the not-so-final boss of nowadays artists. It's not always like I have no ideas. Sometimes it's more like I have 50 ideas and I can seem to remember how to put a pencil on a piece of paper. Sometimes you may even start off well. You open the file, hardest step by the way, but then you make that first line, delete it, then go on set full-time job to get inspired. And 20 minutes later, you realize you've fallen into the rabbit hole of art and things you didn't even need at the moment. The worst part? You love drawing. When you draw, you feel at ease. And when you finish a piece, you feel the satisfaction of success. Not being able to do that feels sort of like a failure, which you are not, by the way. There may be too many reasons behind art block, but being a failure is not one of them. The sole fact that you're here shows that you're trying, and failure does not try. So, if any of this sounds like you, I may have a few tricks up my sleeve that might be able to help you out. So, here's what I do that usually helps. Trick number 1. Switch medium. I usually draw digitally, but when I'm faced with the scary black canvas, I try to pick up a pen and paper, or the other way around anyways. Switching tools disconnects me from the pressure of the final piece and brings me back to drawing just for the sake of drawing. It doesn't matter if I can liquefy, move selections, or Ctrl Z. It's okay if it turns ugly because it's just a quick, thoughtless sketch. It's more like a breather. I just need to feel something different to wake up from that block. Trick number 2. Draw with no purpose. Sometimes I try to do a 10-minute sketch that's for nobody and with no goal. I'm not thinking too much into it. Maybe I just want to draw a flower and I start by doing that. See how it goes. It may be forced at the start, but what comes out of it will be natural. Have you heard of the 3 minutes rule? If you can bring yourself to do something, force it for 3 minutes. Most of the times you'll find yourself already doing it and willing to complete whatever the task it is that you didn't want to do at first. It may be laundry, it may be studying, and in our case, drawing. Still, the trick is to set a timer. I'm not allowed to keep going after the timer goes off. That kills perfectionism, because I already know it's temporary. Then, if I change my mind and want to do a full rendering, I've already started anyways. Just like that, biggest wall is destroyed. Trick number 3. Draw tiny things. Draw tiny, small, low-stakes thumbnails. You can always enlarge them if you are using a digital medium or still have a better idea of how the drawing should come out, and you'll be able to recreate it in a larger scale with ease. Working small removes the fear of ruining a big piece, so my hand just moves without overthinking. For instance, I'm very bad at drawing backgrounds, you see, even the abstract ones. Still, sometimes I would like to make a piece that feels a little more complete, and backgrounds give me anxiety. So I start small, and eventually you will see it will make some sense later. Trick number 4. Consume media. There are times when I stop trying to produce and just consume intentionally. I'm not talking about some brain rot moment on Pinterest. I'm talking about actually consuming content that is worth it. I usually pick up a manga, a comic, a book, a webtoon, whatever it is, any kind of drum story. I'm not looking for references now. I'm just falling back in love with storytelling and art as a viewer, not a creator. Your art field may be different, so choose accordingly, of course. Personally, I found myself mesmerized by the way some of the manhwas I read are able to convey such emotions and flow of thoughts. Tearing over the scenes increased my will to produce art, and it happened to break my block at times. And lastly, finally, trick number 5. Draw blobs. Make a random scribble and then just observe it. You'll start finding shapes and images in there. Color them, highlight them, ink them. Have fun like a child in kindergarten. Use the wrong colors, it doesn't matter. For instance, here I just remembered that I bought these Pokemon markers for fun and totally forgot about them. They still have their tag on. Of course they are not copics, but who cares? It's Pokemon markers. I love them regardless. Just don't forget what you draw in the first place. To have fun. Combining these 5 tricks, or using even just one of them, usually helps me to break that hideous block. Of course, the result is not always perfect. I just came out of a block. But in the end, a drawing will still exist, and that's already a win. And now, it's time for a bonus tip. Sometimes, though, you get blocked when you're already drawing. Maybe you get to a complicated part and you stress over it so much that you stop for weeks or months. It used to happen to me a lot. One thing I do when this happens is zoom all in. I know, it's usually suggested otherwise, so you can keep a complete vision of the whole drawing and not lose yourself in details, which is a great suggestion. But in these cases, when you're facing art block and you're stuck on a boring or complicated part, I personally zoom in and finish it block by block. That way, each and every time, I have a little bit finished, and eventually the drawing will be done. And I won't even notice, because I've been completing micro tasks along the way. Honestly, I'm sure that if you are in an art block and willing to get over it, you've probably watched thousands of these kind of videos already. To me, sometimes it works to hear another perspective. That's why I still made this one, even though there are so many out there. Sometimes I watch them too, and they keep me company while I try to scribble something, and there are times I get motivated enough to try even more. So I hope this video helped, even the tiniest bit, to find back the spark of yours. Just remember, it never left. The sole fact that you're here at the end of this video searching for help and hope, it means it's still all there. You haven't lost anything, not your ability nor your passion. If you did it once, the second time can only come out better. Maybe not all of a sudden. Creativity is something that talent alone can support. It needs to be nourished, and every creative faces blocks like this here and then. There was a time mine lasted months. I'm talking about more than half a year. But now I'm not letting myself run away from the very thing I love doing the most. I gotta say, in my opinion, the real cause most of the times is probably how fast the world works nowadays. Even without AI making complete drawings in minutes, maybe discouraging someone, it still feels everything is too fast and needs to be faster. So art becomes hard because art takes time. However, the accomplishment you feel when you finally make anything, the joy, the undescribable emotion you can feel when a piece is completed, the verge of tears I'm personally on every time I do something I didn't know I could, just because I was too afraid or tired to even try, makes it all worth it. I wasted enough time already. I could have been so much happier if I had drawn more often, but it's not too late. It never is, in fact. I still have my hands and eyes to create after all. And if I didn't have my hands or eyes, I will use my knees and ears, I don't know. And if I couldn't use those parts of me either, I will find other ways to use some other parts. As long as there's something left of me, I won't allow myself to stop creating. Well, that got a little deeper than expected, sorry for that, but I do tend to yap a lot. If you deal with art block too, which one of these tricks you try first? My favorite one is the scribbles, because there's no way you can fail. Oh, by the way, as we're at this time, I did not procrastinate. I said in my intro video that I will try to not procrastinate and publish weekly, but I've really been too busy with work and focused on making something for Art Fight, which I'm having so much fun with, by the way. Also, I think that with how my life looks right now, it's better for me to move the publishing day from Friday to Sunday. So hopefully see you next Sunday. Bye bye! Oh wait, hold on, don't go yet. It's time for Aruna's Pop Quiz. I wanted to prove to you all that a few of the problems that block artists, like perfectionism, whispering that it's not good enough, or time pressure squeezing the joy out of drawing, are mostly born from self-inflicted, unrealistic expectations. So I thought of a little quiz. Therefore, one question, no googling, ready? Look at this amazing art. How much time does it take for a professional splash art to be completed? A. 4 days. B. 4 weeks. Or C. 4 months. Pick one and lock it in. The answer is B. 4 weeks. Did you expect that? In an old Q&A, Riot's splash art team revealed that one splash takes 3 to 4 solid weeks, a full month of work for a single artist working on a single piece. Without counting revisions, it goes up to 8 weeks considering that. But wait, did you think the answer 4 days was the easy, wrong answer? It may surprise you, but it really happened. The last splash art was finished in just 4 days, because 5 artists worked on it at the same time. 5! Okay, so now really, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.